Hello students, 6th standard. In biology, we are learning the chapter number 8, body movements, in which we learn about the movements done by different type of animals. They move differently. Some walks, some flies, some crawl, some slither, and so on. Also, we learn about the different joints in our body, where the two bones meet. That place is known as joint, like at our elbow, in our fingers, at our knee, by the arms, and so on. We also learn different type of joints, like ball and socket joint, hinge joint, and the pivotal joint, and some fixed joints also. After the fixed joints, we learn about the skeleton and the backbone and the rib cage. Now, after that, our few other bones are remaining that we are going to learn about today. First one is our shoulder bone. In our shoulder, you will, if you put your hand here by your neck just a little away, you will find a very hard bone here, and it is connected here on the other bone. So that bones are the shoulder bones. Actually, shoulder bones are made up of two bones. One is the collarbone and the shoulder blade. These are the collarbones and this shoulder blade. When they connected together, they make the shoulder bone. So that shoulder bones are here, which are made up of two bones, collarbones and the shoulder blade. They connected here and make our shoulder on the both side, and it is also known as pectoral girdle. The whole things together is also called the pectoral girdle here. So that shoulder bones are very important for us. It makes our chest proper. Similarly, the other bones are the pelvic bones. The pelvic bones, the structure on which our body rests when we sit. So this part here, the whole part on which we sit, that part is made of the bone which are known as pelvic bones. And it holds various organs of our body parts below the stomach. Below the stomach, there are lots of body parts here. So those all parts, body parts below the bones, are held by this pelvic bones. So here you can see the both bones here. That is your shoulder bone. You can see that shoulder blade and the collar bones together, they make the shoulder bone. And here, that is your pelvic bone. Both sides. So that are the pelvic bones on which we sit. When we sit with the help of these bones, and it holds so many organs which are below the stomach. So that are the shoulder bone and the pelvic bone. And then lastly, we learn about all the bones, but the first thing on our head, that is the skull. Skull is made up of so many bonds joined together, and it holds our brain, which is the very important organ of our body, which is very important according to the nervous system that you will learn after it. So this skull has the joints which are fixed joints. It means that we cannot move any bones here. Movement is not possible in the skull bones. So skull is the here at our head joined with so many bones, and it protects a very, very important organ of our body, and that is our brain. So that the skull is made up, and you can see the picture of skull here. So here you can see that there are some lines drawn. It means that are the different bones joined there, and they are joined with the fixed joint, and therefore we cannot move any bones separately in our skull. So that is the different bones of our skeleton. So now we saw that in our skeleton there are the bones, there are some joints, and etc., etc., etc. But besides that, also there are some parts in our body which are not so hard as bones, but they are also helpful for the framing works. And those are such that they can be bent also. And those are known as cartilage. So cartilage, if you want to feel that cartilage, then you touch your ear. First touch your earlobes. Touch your earlobes and try to push it. Then it is very, very soft. But just take your hand little up in your ear and bend it. Is it as soft as your lobe or little harder than it? What do you feel? It is not as soft as your earlobes, but it is little harder. But not as hard as the bones. Medium, semi-hard, you can say that. So these are not only the muscles, but there are some soft bones. As I told you, that it is the cartilages. So in the ear, the cartilages are there, which are flexible, means it can be bent, and if you leave it, it can come back to its original shape. So there are the cartilages. Sometimes I think your nose also, you can see here at the nose also, if you hold it and bend it, you can bend them. It is also not so hard like the bones and not so soft as our muscles. So in our nose also there are some cartilages. Similarly, same cartilage are in our trachea and larynx. Larynx means our voice box, and the trachea, windpipe, and that windpipe also made up of some C-shaped rings which are made up of cartilage here. And those cartilage, because of that cartilage, the windpipe is not getting flattened. Otherwise, if it is flattened, we cannot breathe. Our oxygen cannot go to the lungs. So it is made up of cartilages. So it is not so hard also and not so soft so that it can be damaged. So that trachea and the larynx are also containing the cartilages. Similarly, those cartilages are found at all the joints also. When the two joints are joining, at that place also there is some cartilages, soft. Similarly, in our backbone also there are cartilages, and therefore it is flexible also. So it means that in our skeleton system there are the bones and joints, and then the cartilages are also helping such that our framework, body frame is possible with the skeleton. So now you can say that what is the function of our skeleton? First of all, skeleton gives the framework of our body. Means it makes the frame, and then on the frame the muscles and the skin and everything is covered and our body makes. But without any bones, is it possible to frame our body? No, it is not possible. So it is completing the framework of our body. What is the other work of your bones or the skeleton? You know that without skeleton, can we stand like this? If there is no bones, can you imagine how can we move from one place to another place? That is very far. We can't even stand like we are standing now on our legs. Because of the bones, we can stand, and then we can walk, we can do different types of work, we can move our hands and legs and our shoulder and our face, etc. So if there is no bones, it is impossible to work all these things. And therefore, it is a very, very important part of our body. So the skeleton system is like that. Now, another thing now we want to talk about is that our body, when we press our body, everywhere, anywhere you press our body, then when you press hard, there is bone inside. But with the bone, on the bone, there is something softer things also, which are known as the muscles. And these muscles are connected to the bones with some tissues. And that tissues, you will learn about it in the higher standards, that which special types of tissues are there, like ligaments and something different names. That you will learn in the higher standards. But just now you have to learn that the bones are attached with muscles with some special types of tissues. And now the muscle and the bone together are responsible for the movement. Only bones or only muscle in our body cannot do this process of moving. Means when we move a hand, when we move a leg or anything in our body, without muscles it is not possible. So now, how does the muscle work? Muscle always works in pair. Means two muscles together are doing this possible, that we can move our hand or any type of movement in our body, especially in the animals and human beings. Now what happens? How they work in pair? The muscles work in pair. When one of them contacts, it bulks and the bone is pulled in that direction. We know that when we close your fist here, and if you bend your hand, arm from the elbow, then you can see that there is some bulged part here. Right? That part is between the bone and the skin. and that part is known as the muscles. Similarly, in your legs also there are some muscles. Everywhere in your body where the movement is possible, there are the muscles. Now, the muscles, as I told you, they work in pair. Means one contracts, then one is relaxing. Contraction and relaxation are going there. So now what happens? When one of them contracts, it bulks and the bone is pulled in that direction. So when it is contracting, what happens? It pulls the bones in the opposite direction. So what happens? To move the bone in opposite side, the relaxed muscle contracts to pull the bone back to its original position. So when one muscle is contracting, then the other muscles is getting relaxed. In pair, what happens first? When one muscle is contracting, then the other muscle is relaxing. When the one muscle is contracting, it pulls the bone into one direction and other muscle relaxing. But now to move that bone back to its original position, means in other direction, that same muscle cannot push it back, and therefore to pull it again, that relaxed muscle, now it contracts and pull that bones back in that direction, and so the bone can come back to its original position. It means that a muscle can pull only the bone, it cannot push the bone. What can it do? It can only pull the bones and it cannot push the bone back, and therefore one is pulling. When it is contracting, the other relaxes. And to bring it back, that relaxed muscle again contract so that it can pull that in the opposite direction. It means that muscle can only pull the bones, it cannot push the bones. Here, the muscle can only pull the bones, but it cannot push the bones. So here we learn about the muscles, that how the muscle can work. It means that muscles and bone together can movement is possible. But now, is it always that muscles and bones necessary for the movement? Because we know that some of the animals do not have any bones. How are they doing the motion then? We will learn about that other in the next session. So today we are going to stop our video. If any confusion, anything you don't understand, please write down in the comment section. It will be followed by a PDF file that you have to write down in the notebooks. Maybe some question answer also will be there. You have to write down in the notebook. And thank you very much.